So glad you're here. It's your host, Magic Mirror. So today we've got a Dex Faith build centered around Black Flame and lightning spells. Her name is none other than Destined Debbie. As you can see, the point spread allows for some dexterity investment, and it allows us to do max cast speed. We've got this kind of fashion for her. I really like the double pointy crown. Thought that'd be kind of cute. And the Knight's Cavalry matches pretty well with the black. So we've got that going for us. Here's our typical weapon loadout. I'm really using the Godskin Stitcher with Endure a lot, and the Godslayer's Greatsword definitely plays a part as well. Radigan's Icon, make sure that we have max casting speed. And here's like a bunch of fucking weapons that I don't use. But yeah, we've got mainly the Godskin Stitcher, like I said. We've also got the Godslayer Greatsword. Godskin Peeler definitely gets some use from time to time. It does have Black Flame Tornado on it for dire emergencies. And yeah, some other weapon options that I just haven't quite utilized yet on the build. Of course, we have the Icon Shield for healing and the Parry tool. So yeah, big strategy is to endure and then hit the Death Lightning. As you can see, that allows us to hyper armor and cast a pretty powerful spell. So let's get into the first invasion. So here we're at Volcano Manor. We are just kind of feeling it out so far. We've got one host and one phantom. They're already launching spectral lances at us. Still kind of feeling it out. Expect the host to come from one direction. So we're going to free aim a Black Flame. Doesn't end up working out that way. So we try and start the offensive. And then we eat a massive Taker's Flame and take a shitload of damage. Which is not pleasant, but that's okay. As long as we don't die, we're still in the game. Celia Chops over here, leading the offensive. They don't end up summoning the other phantoms. That allows me to pursue this phantom. Black Flame Ritual interacts kind of weirdly, as you can see, with the environmental geometry, but it's all good. And, oh, how unfortunate for you, Celia Chops. Gets cornered, surrounded, and poked to death. Hello. And so now we do a little bit of running through the level, trying to find out exactly where the host went. Seems like they may have gone back to the prison town church, so we're going to rush our way back there. Hop on the roofs to save some time. Check out a bloodstain on the way, just because it's fun. Seems like Axe and Great Shield Lady perished there. R.I.P. And unfortunately, it looks like I went the completely wrong way, and we're going to double back. Hop from roof to save time. And it looks like they're just trying to run through the level while ignoring us completely. But that's okay. That happens sometimes. It's also not super strategically brilliant on their part, since if I catch up to you, you know what's going to happen. Looks like they've been baffled by the locked door. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to rush forward. They're trying to hit a serpent, which is resistant to fire with Taker's Flames, not brilliant. And while they're distracted, a little Death Lightning, and a little Death Lightning, and a poke to seal the kill. And so goes our first invasion. Thanks, Snake Buddy. So here's our second invasion. We find ourselves in the Dynasty Mausoleum. We've been spawned pretty far away from the host and the phantoms, so we're going to set up a little trap for them. Put down some of these rainbow stones in both directions, so that by the time they get up here and the Sanguine Noble attacks them, they'll be confused about what direction they're supposed to go in. And so we're just going to double back here and do a little waiting game. We'll go ahead and speed this one up for you so that you don't have to wait as long as Destined Debbie had to wait. And of course our regen and our crimson bubble tier is gonna go away. But that's okay. We don't need that to win an invasion when we've already got our skills and our brilliantly set trap on our side. Do a little bit of forward scouting there. It seems that they have not shown back up. But they are moving through the level since we saw the health bar. Do a little bit more waiting. At 5 times speed, that's 500%. As you can tell, this was a lot of waiting. Sometimes you have to be very patient as an invader. But seems our waiting has been rewarded. The host and the phantom have shown up, so we're just going to double back. Hope they don't notice us. Seems that they haven't. Take another defensive position, because we want them to be nice and distracted by the time we run up to them. Hi there. And our friend, the Sanguine Noble, is going to greet them so kindly. And we'll join the fray too. Hit that endure. And pop a death light there. Very vulnerable position. Close the kill out with a poke. Oh yeah. Yeah, so all we really have to do is just rush in, clear it out with another poke, and our trap strategy was successful. So we'll move on to the next invasion here. We've got a 3-person gank squad waiting in front of the fog wall, and they have no chill whatsoever. We've been greeted with a moon veil and another moon veil, putting us in a rather vulnerable position. So we're going to run and see if they chase us. And we can see that they have given chase partially. But we're going to move even further back. See if they still chase us. And it looks like they have no intentions of doing so. But just to be sure, we can go ahead and double back here. Observe from the high ground. And at this point, it's pretty clear that they're not going to be rushing after us. So we'll have to go and meet them. Of course, this is always a risky maneuver, considering how easy it is to blender a single invader, but, you know, we're just going to have to do what we can with what we've got. Hi there. So we'll greet them by interrupting their cannon of Haima with a lightning spear. As you can see, the fast casting that you get from having dexterity in the Radigan's icon is pretty remarkable. They hesitate for even an instant, they're punished. Fantastic chase downs with the Godskin Stitcher. And close it out with the lightning spear. You guys didn't even defend your host. You guys suck at this, don't you? as you can see, Endure is really great for these kind of encounters too, since even when someone has a colossal sword or something else with hyper armor, you can just endure and poke through it. So now we find ourselves in the Altus Plateau. We've got a 2-person PvEer squad, it seems. So we're going to go ahead and approach. Seems that they aren't actively looking for us, and are instead choosing to engage with the PvE. So we'll give chase. Hit them with that poke. So much aggression on that Godskin Stitcher. Chase them down. Let them panic roll. And then poke them into their counterattack. Take the win. So now we have a solo host. He's trying to hit us with the Moon Veil. Of course, with a Godskin Stitcher and a fast-casting Lightning Spear, we definitely have the advantage in terms of speed. And it's no problem to chase them down and give them the final poke. GG. And so our next invasion is going to be here in the Forbidden Lands, which is always a fun place to invade, since there's some pretty solid PvE, but not quite game-breaking either. We'll greet the Hidden Host and the Fingers with a Black Flame from downtown. We'll stopper their advance by throwing up that Black Flame ritual. And now, since they're nice and separated, we can go in for a couple of punish pokes. And as you can see, our PvE friend was able to help out, even though we couldn't confirm that last poke. So we've got a dual spear set up, a pike, and a torch pole, which is kind of silly. We endure, and then we carry and retaliate, parry, and take the kill. And then we hit the double parry, because we love to kill in stylish ways. Because Bloodhound's Fang is so easy to parry when you know they're going to follow up. And there we have a nice little 3-person gank down, and Destined Debbie jumps away to her destiny. Moving on, we're back in the Volcano Manor, past the boss door, next to the Magma Lake. Hardcore Hannah is looking pretty hardcore. Lanciax's Glaive, always easy to dodge. Black Flame Ritual, always nice for setting up the defensive perimeter. Gotta be careful around the Iron Virgin, since the Iron Virgin absolutely can hit us. And it looks like we do have another Death Lightning fan who's trying to fight us. Of course, I am the original patented Death Lightning user, so can't permit that. Pop the bubble. Oh. Of course, anytime they try and cast, it's very easy to punish. And then we can roll catch the panic roll and kill the Phantom. So at this point, we're having a 1v1 with Hannah most hardcore. You really have to watch out for the Knight's Greatsword. It's a fantastic weapon, and Stormblade is a fantastic Ash of War. So we'll try and play a little bit defensively. We totally whiff our free aim, however. Let me pull out the Godslayer Greatsword, which has the hyper armor that might allow us to prevail. You can see how hardcore Hannah is. Just like an arena duel. Not totally sweaty, but a little sheen of sweat. Perhaps it's the magma. Perhaps it's the Knight's Greatsword. Can you see how quickly those Godskin Stitcher swipes come out? Like, it's... they actually nerfed the heavy thrusting swords, if you can believe it, too. Like, they used to be... they used to actually have, like, a true combo. You could jump in the air, hit them with a jumping R1, and then that would combo into a standing R1. And that shit was pretty scary, but... Anyway, here we are, crumbling Farah Missoula. We expect them to jump out, but they don't jump out. So instead, we're going to block their passage. Go for some nice aggressive pokes. They Scarlet Aeonia us, but we don't manage to get the Death Lightning. Unfortunately, it's a very random spell, and sometimes you don't hit anything despite being at point-blank range. Maki's got the claws, which are a pretty dangerous and aggressive weapon setup. Or pretty dangerous too. Lead them back here into the passageway in hopes that we might be able to outsmart them back here. Always nice to be able to fight with a bit of cover. Run out, set up a defensive perimeter, and then run past it. Overconfident Monkey ran into the Black Flame Ritual, having endured, in the setup for a Death Lightning. And unfortunately, even though the Disc of Whatever caused some damage, it does not stagger, and we were able to take the kill. So now our opponent is solo and seems to be interested in spamming daggers at us. And they're smart enough to roll away instead of attacking into an enduring invader. Probably pretty smart. But what isn't smart is trying to Scarlet Aeonia someone who has projectiles. As you can see, we were able to punish them for more than half their health, allowing us to take the kill. This is a pretty fun build. I really, really enjoyed this one. And now we're in Lanedale, Royal Capital. We have some very aggressive hosts who don't seem to realize that I get invincibility frames for having just invaded. 2 Death Lightnings, takes out the Phantom, damages the host. Colossal Sword, the Malekith's Black Blade, pretty scary. Destined Death, definitely a scary Ash of War. So we're going to pull out something that we can do hyper armor trades with. But unfortunately that hyper armor is way too much to trade with on that Ash of War. Finally we pre-aim a Black Flame and it actually succeeds. So we're going to get a little bit more aggressive. Pull out the Godskin Stitcher. Take the kill. I really like invading in Lanedale. It's just a beautiful setting, isn't it? So coming into our final invasion here, it's us versus Meat Slapper. We've got another invader on our side here, so we feel pretty strong and confident. Looks like we've got some bubble gimmick action going on here. As you can see, the spam is pretty fearsome. Our fellow invader runs in and immediately gets killed. Yeah, so that's fine though. So we're gonna go ahead and endure Death Lightning and then poke. So we've got 1 Phantom down already. While Meat Slapper is trying to spam bubbles, we get that Lightning Spear punish, another Lightning Spear punish, and we chase them off the edge of a cliff. We assume for a second that the invasion is over, but it's totally not. And some Meat Slapper is still alive and kicking here. So we're going to stay out of range of those bubbles and try and free aim a couple of black flames. This doesn't end up working, but we get kind of close. As you can see, the bubbles are stylish but punishable. It worked on the other invader, but mainly because he was over-aggressive and got stun-locked. However, we're still getting chip damage off of it. So we're going to switch to Lightning Spear so we can get those quick ranged punishes. And we're going to take out our poking tool as well. Chase to the very edge. And then poke them off. And that's how you beat a Meat Slapper. Well, I think that's the last invasion for today, so I thank you very much for joining me. See you next time.